Hello there, Ray here, and I'm joined by Extraretta. Today guys, we'll be going over this little sorter that you guys see below us, which is capable of sorting pretty much every single item that comes out of a fish farm. This allows you to sort away the junk that you don't want and keep the stuff you do. Now in 1.16 they changed it so that getting the treasure enchantments while AFK fishing becomes much slower and harder to do. So before you update, you should definitely go ahead and do a lot of AFK fishing to get tons of enchanted books. This is exactly what we're doing on the Protec SMP server. We actually have an 8-man AFK fish farm, which allows 8 players to all fish at the same time, meaning we get tons of materials, and we want to go ahead and sort those all out automatically. So today we're going to be showing you how you can sort out every single item that comes from AFK fishing, even including the ones that do not stack. So with this system, you're capable of getting tons of enchanted books stored up before updating to 1.16. Make sure to check out the video that we did on the Protec SMP server where we implemented this onto the server. We're also trying to go for 1,000 god sets of armor, which we're going to eventually update to netherite god sets. Something to keep in mind for those that are still playing in 1.14 or below. Now, the amount of items that you get from fishing is quite a few, and the wiki has a great list here which shows all of them. So you can get raw cod, raw salmon, tropical fish, pufferfish. You can get bows, enchanted books, fishing rods, name tags, nautilus shells, saddles, lily pads, bowls. Fishing rods are enchanted, leather boots, rotten flesh, sticks, string, water bottles, bones, ink sacs, and even tripwire hooks. You can also get bamboo if you happen to fish inside of a jungle. The majority of these items you get from fishing are stackable, and you can use a typical stackable item sorter to sort them out. So we went ahead and built one up here. It's pretty simple. You can see everything here. And we have this one hopper pointing this direction. And we need a filter. Just put some items in here that will never come into the system. So anything that can stack to 64, you can put into the slot here. And this will be the filter. And only the same items as this will be able to get pulled out from the top hopper line and down into here and down into this chest. So I put some raw fish in over here. Move across, get pulled in, then get pulled down and into this chest over here. And the filter is pretty simple. It works really good. Problem is, quite a few of the items that come from AFK fishing are non-stackable, meaning they don't stack beyond one. So stuff like bows, enchanted books, fishing rods, both enchanted and non-enchanted, saddles, and leather boots, as well as water bottles, do not stack. Therefore, a typical item sorter like this does not work. So what you want to do is first go ahead and sort out all the items that can stack, so all the normal items. You want to sort them out by using a bunch of these type of sorters. Then everything that is left is just going to be unstackable items. And that's where the beauty of this system comes in. This thing is capable of sorting out the majority of these non-stackable items. And we'll explain how this works, how we're actually able to sort out all these non-stackable items. This entire redstone contraption is quite compact with everything kind of crammed in there. So we have some examples of the stuff individually spaced out. So the first one we got here is a sorter to sort out the water bottles. And the way we do that is pretty simple. This is one wide tileable, so you can kind of see everything that's going on here. The items will come into this dropper here, then they'll come down into this hopper here. Once they're inside of here, they will activate this comparator, which will come up and lock the hopper above it, preventing any more items from coming down into it. That way we only have one item in here and we're trying to sort one at a time. The same comparator will also turn off this torch, which will only unlock this hopper after a short delay, meaning the item is stuck in this hopper, unable to get pulled downwards by this hopper. And notice how this hopper is actually pointing into this brewing stand. So while the item is in there waiting, it has nothing to do but try to get pushed into the brewing stand. And if it's an item that can go inside a brewing stand, such as like water bottles or potions, it will go inside of there. So if I go ahead and put a water bottle up here, it's going to go down and go into there. And then once inside the brewing stand, we have another hopper which pulls anything out that's in this slot here. And immediately pulls it and pushes it into this shulker box. That's how you can sort away the water bottles that come from your AFK fish farm. So next up, we do a very similar thing, except we use a furnace. So the exact same setup is here. We have the same kind of comparators, redstone dust, stuff being locked. But instead, we're now pushing items into a furnace. Now, if you push items into the side of a furnace, it is only for the fuel slot. So only this slot here. If you push items in from the top with a hopper, then it's going to go into the top slot. Now, anything can go into the top slot, including things that can't be cooked up in a furnace. Only stuff that can burn can be put into the bottom slot. And you can burn fishing rods as well as bows, because both are made out of wood. So fishing rods can be normal fishing rods or they can be enchanted, and the bows are enchanted. But it don't matter, they can all burn. What this will do is shove them into this furnace, and then what we'll do is we will put in another hopper which puts in a item that can be cooked up. So if we put some raw fish in there, which we can also get from AFK Fishing, we can remove that bow by burning it. Now you can't remove the bow by just putting a hopper underneath here and pulling the bow out. Only thing that the hopper pulls out is stuff in this slot. So only the cooked fish will get pulled out and put into this hopper. The bows and stuff will not. So you have to actually burn off the bows or the fishing rods in order to get rid of them. Now alternatively, you could have it pushed into this hopper. You can have a player sitting here, and as soon as it comes in, just have the Q button held down and you can drop any items that come into it and drop it into a separate chest if you're trying to like save the bows or the fishing rods. Now, because it takes time for stuff to cook, it can be helpful to have a couple furnaces in a row, especially if you have a large AFK fish farm with multiple people running it. If you have just one player, it's very unlikely for him to fish up enough bows or fishing rods to actually overcome the system. Because if this bow is in here, it'll cook. If another bow comes in here, it fills up the slot. If another bow comes in here, it won't be able to get pushed into there, and therefore it'll go past the system. So for our system over there, we actually have 2 furnaces. And this will be able to take in about 4 bows all at once, which is extremely unlikely to occur. We have another system down here where we have the same kind of setup, and we're pushing it into another furnace. So at this point, we went ahead and removed all the bows and fishing rods as well as the bottles of water. So next thing up is the leather boots, and the way we did that is by using a zombie. And this zombie has the pick up loot tag. There's a small percentage that zombies as well as skeletons can have a chance to pick up items, and this guy can. So if he is given something like boots, he is able to pick them up and actually wear them. Now in this version at 1.12, there's a cool little quirk to do with zombies where they will try to pick up any armor that has low durability or is enchanted. And they really can't make up their mind which one is better, lower durability or something that's enchanted. Currently the zombie is wearing some leather boots that are enchanted. If we give him these sets, which are low durability, he will actually get rid of his normal ones and put on the low durability ones. And we made a system here which will automatically pick up those boots that he drops. Since when he picks up one boot, he'll drop another one, and it will store them in this hopper. And the item is piped over here up and then dropped to him once again. This way the boots that he started with, he actually gets to wear once again. And the system's kind of smart, so it knows the difference. So the first boot that it's dropped the zombie, and knows that one we need to save, so it puts it off to the side. Then it gives it to him again, and then the second boot that he drops, which is this one here, is going to be piped off and put into this chest over here. And you guys can see this happening. If I just drop the boots right over here, you can see he picks them up and pick them up. And then he's given another one and he puts them on, and then the broken pair ends up down here. And there's really not that much redstone to it. This little circuitry here is all there is. But this is actually broken in 1.13. So in 1.15 introduced, you can have armor stands be automatically equipped. You can have armor stands be placed down with dispensers and use dispensers to equip armor onto them, as well as break the armor stand and get those items back to sort them. If you guys are curious how you can sort pretty much any piece of armor with a armor sorter, I have 2 really good videos I'll link below. One showing how you can sort armor from other stuff, and one showing how you can sort all the different separate armor pieces individually. Very handy when it comes to sorting out armor. So these 3 sorters are all stuck into this thing. You can see at the very top here, we got a furnace here. We got a furnace over here. We also got a brewing stand down here. And we got the zombie over here. So after we went ahead and sorted out all those items, the only thing we're left with are saddles as well as enchanted books. And those items are put into this chest over here. You can see that's all there is. Enchanted books as well as saddles. Obviously, enchanted books are one of the best things you can get out of the AFK fish farm. Now, you guys haven't asked me if AFK fish farms are broken 1.16, and I did a video showing the new 1.16 AFK fish farms. Now, they did nerf a couple of the designs that we showed, but the design that we showed in the very beginning still works. And it's based off of precise timings, which is something they really can't nerf. And I'll link that video down below with the exact timestamp so you know which design still works in future versions like 1.16. Now, when it comes to sorting out saddles, you have a couple different options. In the most recent 1.16 snapshot, developers actually included a request of mine, which is to have saddles automatically be dispensed onto horses or other things. This is actually extremely useful, and you can see the extent of all the changes that came to dispensers in my snapshot review video linked below. What we got here is a dispenser, and this thing is pointing into the horse just enough so that it actually counts as it going onto the horse. You see it just barely has a sliver of the horse overlapping the dispenser. That way it notices the horse in front of it and will put the saddle onto it. But if it's something that's not a saddle, so if I go ahead and put like a enchanted book in here, it'll shoot the enchanted book out of the dispenser as an item and not dispense it onto the horse. And that's getting picked up by this hopper right here because it's the closest thing to the dispenser, and put it directly into this chest here. If it is a saddle that comes through the system, saddle will be dispensed onto the horse before it ever ends up inside of the hopper down below. Now to get the saddle off, the player does have to be standing here, having the inventory of the horse opened up, and also having the Q button constantly trying to drop this item here. Notice when I drop this saddle, it kind of spawns in the center of the horse and gets thrown off to the side here. And you can see where it ends up right here, kind of in the center of the horse, a little bit momentum because I was standing over there, so I kind of threw it this direction. Ends up right there, and I currently have these hoppers locked, so if I remove the locks on, you can see the item gets pulled in and put into this chest right here. So we can sort the saddles away from the books. In order to constantly be clicking inside of the horse inventory here, you can't just hold down Q. Inventories work a little bit differently. Horse inventories work a little bit differently than like the player's inventory. So if I'm not looking into the horse and I open my inventory and I hold Q, notice I could just drop out tons of chests really fast. If I do the same thing while inside of horse inventory, I hold Q, notice I just drops one chest. So there's currently a bug that is extremely old that they never ever fix, which has to do with different GUIs like horses or chests not acting the same as players. And if you go into your controls and the button that drops stuff, let's say we just change it to something else like Y, and we go ahead into our inventory and we hold down Y, notice how it drops out a bunch of chests. We come into here and we hit Y, it still only drops one chest. So it doesn't like change anything by changing the key. And I wrote a bug report on this, which you can find linked below. Please take the time to go ahead and upvote the bug report, that way it gets fixed in the next version. Because inconsistencies in the game are extremely noticeable and pretty easy to fix. The workaround for this is to make a key that constantly sends updates by like rebinding one of your other keys on your keyboard to make it drop. I personally rebinded my caps lock key to control because I don't really use caps lock in Minecraft. And it's a lot easier for me to hit that to sprint rather than reaching for control. So it can be done, but I wish I just fixed this bug here. Now in the older versions, you do have to use a different method for sorting saddles. You can use like pigs from like a pig farm, where you just click the saddle up against them and then kill them off to get it back. Or you can breed up a bunch of pigs. And if you have a kind of automated system where more pigs are constantly being bred up, you can put saddles on them and kill them off. But you do get quite a few saddles over time, so you want a system that can kind of last a long time. So in this world here, I got the AFK Fish Farm, the new 1.16 one. You can find it right here. Also includes the data pack, which allows you to see the bobber if it's in the proper location. So I guess I can show you guys that. Little fire particles or smoke particles that shows that the bobber is in the right location, and you'll get treasure enchantments. So this is a treasure enchantment AFK Fish Farm here. You guys can check it out if you want to. On off switches there. Also included the automatic fish sorter here. So this includes the normal stackable sorter right here, as well as the bows and fish rod sorter, the water bottle sorter, and the leather boot sorter down here, which doesn't really work in this version. You can still constantly resupply zombies into the system and kill them off to get the boots, but it's better to go with a armor stand system in the future versions. Then you'd go ahead and hook this output, which is the chest right here, into your saddle sorter over here. This way you can sort the saddles away from the books. With these three systems here, it's possible to AFK fish and automatically sort all the loot that comes off of it. And much thanks to Xretta as well as Mofo for helping me design up these automatic sorters and implement them into the ProTech SMP server. So with all the systems put together, you're able to automatically sort out all the different types of fish loot. And remember guys, we have an entire playlist of simple as well as complex farms and machines that you guys can build up for your survival world. Links are down below. And make sure guys to share this video with other Minecrafters, as well as leave a like on it. And if you guys would like to build this up in your very own world, we will provide the world download to it as well, so you guys can build it block for block. We'd like to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!